WWE Stomping Grounds 2019. This is the Wrestling Inc. podcast. I'm Glenn Rubenstein, joined by Raj Giri and Mr. Matt Morgan to talk about this WWE pay-per-view. Just ended. Couple surprises. There was a title change tonight. Big surprise in the main event there, who that guest referee was. Matt, what did you think of this pay-per-view overall?
It was okay. I just, during the Dolph and Kofi match, I was just sitting there thinking to myself, let's just be honest, and you could feel it in the audience too a little bit. It just felt like an opening match. Like it did not feel that match should be where it was placed on that card, and they had to put it in a steel cage to make it even remotely interesting. I hate saying that, but that's what happens when you have years and years of hurting guys that 20 years later you want to take a chance on them all of a sudden and make us believe that they're main event talents. They are main event talents, like as far as how good they are and what they should have been doing their whole careers. It's not on them, but it just goes to show you, it felt very out of place. I like the other matches, honestly, the lower card matches. I even like the Cruiserweight Championship match. I liked a lot of things on this card. Even in the main event, there were some cool things with having Lacey in there. I thought was good. It was very obvious what was going to happen with Becky being involved, no question. But still, it was entertaining. It was a good predictability. I like the card. I thought it was okay.
Yeah. I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I thought it was great until I like Drew and Roman too. I thought it started off slow, but then by the end, I thought it was really good. And then I'm with you. Once that Kofi Dolph match started, I was just like, man, this just feels like a mid-card match. And, we've been saying this for a while. If you want to make Kofi a top guy, you need to program him in a hot feud with a top level guy like a Randy Orton, someone like that in a heated feud that Kofi eventually comes out on top of that can really establish him. But putting him with other guys that people see as mid-carders is not helping his cause at all. And that's no disrespect to Dolph. That's just how he's been booked for all these years. Yep. So, this was a strong thumbs up until that match. And then that and most of the main event I thought sucked until, towards the end, I thought it got interesting again. But it was still, it was still a thumbs up. It wasn't a gigantic thumbs up, but it was still a thumbs up. I thought it was still a good pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So we started off tonight, Cruiserweight match, a triple threat for the Cruiserweight title, Akira Tozawa versus Drew Gulak versus Tony Nese. And it's finally Drew Gulak's turn to have the Cruiserweight belt. What'd you think of that match, Matt?
I liked it. I thought it was a good match. Really good match.
Yeah, a long way from Gulak doing the PowerPoint presentations and the gimmicks when he was on Raw.
Which is a shame because honestly, that was good character though. He had a good character doing that, and I knew more about him. I had a reason to hate him. But the real life Drew Gulak, I was happy for tonight.
Yeah, it does feel like right now the Cruiserweight division is a lot of faceless guys. It's just, bland characters with great action. And so if you're just a quote unquote, just an in-ring fan, 205 Live is the show for you. But if you want excitement and characters and stories, that's not where it's at. But I really enjoyed this match. I thought it was really fun. Again, I thought Drew Gulak was most entertaining when he was doing the PowerPoints, but it also wasn't a main event gimmick. It's not, it's not a championship kind of thing, but now he's just kind of another guy. But, I still do like Drew Gulak a lot. I think he has a ton of potential, and I think he could be a character. We've already seen it before, so hopefully he can do something with this title because, Tony Nese, he's great in the ring, but he just doesn't have those promo skills, to help build that brand up more.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like at this point, more of the 205 Live roster has held the Cruiserweight Championship than has not.
It feels that way.
Well, you got the Singh brothers, the Lucha House Party is still in there, and
single stars.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know. A lot of the guys have left too, like Cedric, Alexander, and Buddy Murphy. So, TJP. So yeah.
Yeah, it was a good way to start the show. I thought as far as pre-show matches go, this was really solid. Good triple threat. Drew Gulak won, hit the torture rack neck breaker on Tozawa for the pin to win the title. So Nese did not get pinned or submit for that. And then we opened the show. I thought this was surprising at the time, though it makes perfect sense with how the show ended, with the Raw Women's title match, Lacey Evans versus Becky Lynch. Becky retaining, Lacey Evans coming out like she just got done working a shift in the can on a riverboat casino. What did you think of this match, Matt?
I think half our audience did not understand that reference, but I thought it was, again, they continue to downsell Becky Lynch. It was exciting to see a championship match. It kicked the show off, but it was also, I used to say the same thing when AJ would kick it off when he was SmackDown champion, but I also have to say the same thing about Becky that I used to say about when they did this to AJ. How do you expect people to treat these people like champions, especially Becky Lynch, who was white hot at one point, kicking off, no offense, a crap pay-per-view, a no-name pay-per-view, a brand new pay-per-view nobody cares about or has heard about or is probably watching tonight. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just didn't think that was smart to do. I don't know.
I'm kind of with you. I think anytime something's opening match, you kind of let it be known it's not the most important thing on the show, right? The most important thing is going to be at the end. Brock versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, that opened the show. And, that definitely wasn't the least important thing on the show. But, you will from time to time have big matches opening the show. But, yeah, I agree. I think Becky, you want to push her as a top star or, a top echelon type of star. You got to put her up higher,
There's no way if Charlotte was champion would they have done that, I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, Becky's cooled off quite a bit since Mania, and actually since, even before that.
Because of these types of things.
Yeah, because of the booking. Again, we say it all the time. Just think about what would you do with Steve Austin? Would you do that with him? No, never. The Rock would never open a pay-per-view.
Well, and I gotta say, a lot of our fans are really smart because on Twitter, when this match opened, I saw probably a dozen tweets from our fans that said Lacey's going to be the guest referee in the closing match of the night, and Becky will get involved.
I mean, she still could have. Well, I guess not, because I understand why now. This was obviously the opening match, but no offense, was she selling? Did any of you guys see her selling at all?
Lacey?
Yeah.
No.
She pretended to sell when she's trying to count to three and then stop when, you know what I mean? But that's what every heel, referee does on purpose. They get something in their eye, they pull the shoulder muscle, whatever, before counting the other person three rather. But she did no selling. She did not sell the disarmor.
Yeah, what do you think?
She was only in it for a second. Like, she tapped out instantly.
She got beat up though. Like, still something. I don't know. She looked like she couldn't be happier to be there, and it was a brand new segment for her, and brand new show.
Matt, how many times, you could probably count on one hand, if not two, the amount of times you tapped out in a match? But you wouldn't do that instantly, right? That just kills your credibility as a tough guy.
Yeah, you'd want to try to. You don't get to choose usually. Like I don't get to tell the booking committee, like, "Hey guys, is it cool if I pass out?" Because then you look a mark for yourself, But to protect characters, you usually have them black out. That builds them up as being tough and things like that.
Yeah, or try to fight out of it for a while, but you can't, and then finally taps.
Yeah, count just 5 Mississippi before you start tapping.
Yep.
But I thought this was a good match. I thought it was Lacey's best match on the main roster. I think Lacey's a star. I think she's going to be holding gold sooner than later. So I really liked it. I thought it was a good opener. I was pleasantly surprised with this match.
Yeah, I think, tonight, of all the things accomplished, Ricochet, and we'll talk about that in a moment, but I think Lacey Evans, this was her star-making turn in the WWE between this and refereeing that main event.
Yeah.
And I think I was predicting this to Raj off the air. Maybe tomorrow night, maybe at Extreme Rules, we get a mixed tag match with Becky and Seth versus Lacey and Corbin.
It's coming.
Yeah. And this is good. For how much they put Corbin on the air, I think this could actually make Corbin better and then give Lacey a little more context.
Good.
I want to see Corbin out of that spot, but they're going to do it.
Yeah, they definitely have to do it now.
Hopefully it's on Raw, because I'd like to see Seth move on. I don't think this feud is doing him any favors either. It's the same thing with Dolph and Kofi.
Yeah. So after Becky Lynch won this match with the disarmor that Lacey tapped out to instantly, we got a vignette for Ali, which was kind of interesting. A little out of place we got that tonight, but no Firefly Funhouse.
Yeah. That's usually just on TV.
Yeah.
They haven't done the Firefly Funhouses on any of the pay-per-views.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul Heyman made a little cameo backstage coming out of Corbin's office. And then we had Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus Big E and Xavier Woods. What did you think of this match, Matt?
I like this, actually. I thought I wanted to fast forward this so bad. But no, I'm glad I got to watch it. It was actually, for me, surprisingly better than I thought it would be, because I don't mean any disrespect to like Big E and Xavier. I'm good friends with Xavier and everything. I'm not feeling them at the time. I don't know if because I've gotten too much of them. I don't know what it is that disconnects me from them currently. But I'm huge fans of the other two. And I was happy to see a W.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've just seen the New Day forever. It'd be a breath of fresh air to see. I mean, we've talked about it forever. Big E turning on Kofi. I mean, Big E versus Kofi is what we're talking about, a feud to take Kofi to the next level.
That would do both guys, and it would really be good.
Yeah, and I think that could give a spark to SmackDown. SmackDown and Raw both doing record low ratings. They both need something interesting. I think Big E and Kofi could be that. But yeah, I thought this match was great. Actually, it blew my expectations away. I thought it was just action packed from start to finish. I was never bored. I thought this match was really fun.
I was surprised they had Kevin and Sami look so dominant and even win at the end. I mean, Big E got that hot tag, and I thought that was going to be the finish. Big E comes in and wrecks shop.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. He's just kind of basically still coming back from his injury and building steam back. So I thought the same damn thing. That's what made this. I liked it. I liked it even more because of that, actually.
Subverted expectations. If they're going to keep Kofi, if they're going to put him in a hot one-on-one feud, I wouldn't mind just being in the tag division going forward. I think KO and Sami as a tag team, if they don't have anything better for them, works pretty well.
Yeah, I just feel, again, when we're talking about Seth and Kofi having a lack of top challengers, you got Big E out there and Daniel Bryan and Kevin Owens. All these guys would be way more interesting in those spots than Dolph and Baron Corbin. And you got AJ as well, who looks like he's going to be in the U.S. title feud, which, that's going to be awesome as well. But just that world title mix, they need some real talent at the top to really help Kofi and Seth get to the next level. And Kevin Owens is one of those guys that I think should be up a notch. But I am glad that they won this match. They've been losing a ton lately, so it's good that they got the win here.
They got to get DB. I don't know how they do it, dude. But if they took DB out of there and have him work Seth Rollins on Raw, I don't know how that happens. I just think that would be good.
Oh, it'd be awesome. Yeah,
certainly better than a lot of what we've seen lately. So speaking of Big E's, let's take a moment and thank the sponsor of this episode, Blue Chew. Guys, you remember the days when you were always ready to go? Think back to when Limp Bizkit set the record for the fastest selling rock album of all time, back when we were all about doing it for the nookie. And these days, well, you're not breaking stuff with anything on your body, that's for sure. The good news is now you can rearrange things and increase your performance, get that extra confidence in bed, so listen up. BlueChew.com, that's blue like the color blue. Blue Chew brings you the first chewable with the same FDA-approved active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, so you know this is the stuff that works. The science, the engineering, the brain power that has worked to make your unit function in overdrive. You can take them anytime, day or night, even on a full stomach, and since they're chewable, they work up to twice as fast as a pill, so you can be ready whenever that opportunity arises. No more having to set your schedule, take a pill, and hope for the best. No, with chewable, works in minutes, guys. It's really, really incredible. You've heard us talk about it. You've heard the awkwardness of Raj Giri, his wow factor, his yep. You know what he was talking about, what he was agreeing to. We've all said, ourselves, our partners, they agree. Blue Chew is the real deal. And it's for any guy, not just guys who can't perform. It's for any guy who needs that extra performance, who wants that extra function to enhance, well, the moment when it counts and where it counts. For instance, if you talk a good game, if you're one and done, Blue Chew can help with round 2, 3, 4, and more. It's prescribed online, shipped straight to your door in a discreet package. No in-person doctor's visit, no waiting in the pharmacy, and best of all, no more awkwardness. Made in the USA. They prepare and ship direct, cheaper than a pharmacy, and discreet. Like Matt Morgan said, you're not getting a box that says boner pills. No. Comes in a nice, discreet brown package. Stylish little pouch. You can keep this laying around. No one's going to question you or judge you. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Visit BlueChew.com. First shipment is free with the promo code WINC. Just pay $5 shipping. Again, that's promo code WINC at BlueChew.com to try it for free. Blue Chew, the better, cheaper, faster choice. We thank them for sponsoring the Wrestling Inc. podcast.
If you want to be a freak in the bed, if you've been not so freaky lately and we want to get your freak on again, Blue Chew. We've been talking about it forever. You hear it all over the place. It works. If you don't believe it, you can try it with this promo code, and it's worth a shot, especially if you have even if you haven't been experiencing any difficulties or equipment failure. You got a date night coming up. You want to perform at the top of your abilities. Try it out.
Appreciate Raj dropping a corn reference there. And I'm sure as people can predict, Blue Chew, if this Limp Bizkit podcast that people have been encouraging me on Twitter to actually do, if it happens, of course, Blue Chew is going to be a sponsor of that. Matt, can I put you down for an episode? Talk about a Limp Bizkit song?
Sure.
That's all I needed. That's all I needed to hear. I'm going to get, middle-aged Fred Durst, Justin Lambar in on that. It'll be good times. Anyhow, back to Stomping Grounds tonight. United States title match, Ricochet versus Samoa Joe. Now, Ricochet was on the pre-show here. Did you guys catch his interview on the pre-show?
No. How did I miss that?
With the New Day and not with the New Day, with when he was on the panel with Booker.
With Booker, yeah, wearing glasses, looking kind of different.
He's looking suave.
Yeah, no, I thought
he looks like
good.
a star, dude. He looks like a star.
He carries himself like a star. He has the look, the athletic ability. The only area is his promos. I mean, I feel like he should study Jake Roberts. Someone that didn't need to yell in his promos, someone who could just talk and not be over animated and really get his point across. And someone like that.
That would be okay. Here's the problem, though. What he does is exciting. So how the hell do you do all these awesome, exciting moves? The crowd is ecstatic. They're pumped in a different way than they're pumped for anybody else. Let's just be honest. There's a different reaction when that guy climbs the top rope.
Oh, yeah.
Than anybody else, right? There's a different excitement in his athleticism. How the hell are you supposed to be doing all that and not pop up out of it ecstatic and pumped? He's got to figure out on how to play around that when it's time for his promos. You can't be like, hey.
Well, guys.
Me versus you. What's that? You can't hear me? Well, I'm playing with your mind. I don't want you to hear me just yet. You can't do that. Like with this dude's flip-flop is going all over the place in 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
It's almost like he should do an Ultimate Warrior promo.
I don't know. I don't know what it is because he don't want to do that either, right? I know.
Right.
But I don't know what it is, but he's got to, you're right. He's got to work. He's got to fix it. He's got to think about it. And it will come because they believe in him. Yeah. And that's so important, you guys. When you have a company that backs you and believes in you and gives you chances, you get all your F-ups out of the way early. And then you start to play around with different things because you're so comfortable because you're not going to get fired. You're not going to start losing a bunch of matches all of a sudden and things like that when you start to feel the company back you. And that's when you start to get comfortable enough to figure out who the hell you are with that character.
Yeah.
I hope he's able to.
He's great, though. He was just awesome tonight.
Yeah, and I think and I mean them putting the US title on him, I think is just confirmation that they're finally ready to give him that singles push now after being in limbo for a little while.
Yep.
What did you think of his the match itself against Samoa Joe, Matt?
Outstanding. This is Joe's best matchups are always versus. I mean, think about his best matches. Think about the size of the athlete. Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, CM Punk. Who am I forgetting? Other smaller, super athletic guys on the indie scene and Ring of Honor. Chris Daniels, Kaz, all those guys in TNA. Jay Lethal. He has really top, I'd say 5-star matches all the time with these types of athletes. And other athletes too, but Joe has a really good pace. And being able to not make the match boring, which a lot of us big guys end up doing sometimes versus these smaller athletic guys when it's time to get heat on them. Joe's really good at that.
Yeah. No, I thought the pacing of this was good tonight. It wasn't just Ricochet doing flippy shit the entire time.
I thought this match was awesome. I thought Ricochet looked great. I thought Samoa Joe was great. Again, up until this point, man, I was like, this pay-per-view is blowing away my expectations.
And then you jinxed it by tweeting that. By saying, talking about how good it was. And then right after that, it just went downhill.
It was pretty much the point. It was after this match. But yeah, I mean, I love the Ricochet winning the title. I think if they go with AJ, they teased it. I guess we're going to get to that in a second. That could be a money feud. That's a main event right there for me.
I'd pay for that every 7 days a week. I would watch that match and I'd pay money for it. And
if you turn AJ heel, join the club, and had the club as a heel and Ricochet as the babyface, man, I think that is something.
It is. It is insurmountable odds for him to overcome. Yeah, love it.
What is going on with Finn Balor, though? The Gallows and Anderson are all these segments with AJ, and like Finn nowhere to be seen.
Nothing's going on. They just have nothing for him, and he's the Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah. But yeah, so they teased it backstage. Ricochet while taking photos with the title, interrupted by Gallows and Anderson, and then AJ came in and said he's going to see him on Raw tomorrow night. So I think this will just solidify the Ricochet push.
Yeah, so Balor's been wrestling Nakamura at the house shows. Rusev's been home. He hasn't been around, so
I bet those house show matches are really damn good.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Prince Devitt versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe they'll do something with Nakamura again if Rusev's going to be gone for a while and pull him up with Finn. I think that would be an exciting feud if done right.
I can't believe we have to say that though. I can't believe we have to say that. Like, hey, WWE, please make sure when you get a chance to use this guy named Nakamura.
Well,
are you kidding me? It's ridiculous.
Well, Nakamura looks like he's had all the motivation knocked out of him too. He looks like he's just kind of. He's like, all right, you're gonna pay me? Are you gonna pay me this Saturday or
What do you do though?
I know.
He's also being a heel. I don't know.
Yeah.
He re-signed, right?
Yeah.
It's been 3 years.
I believe Nakamura re-signed. Yeah. Let me double check that. But
thought he did. Thought we covered it here. Or you guys covered it here.
No, it's crazy. Matt, what'd you think of this match tonight? Heavy Machinery wrestling for the SmackDown Tag Team titles against Daniel Bryan and Rowan.
I want to like him. My friends are friends with what's his name, Otis. So he seems like a really cool kid, from what my friends say. Here, they all live locally here, and they all come through my gym. So I want to be a fan, but it's been hard. Okay, but tonight I was impressed. I was honestly impressed by his strength, Otis's strength, and he had a very uphill battle. For them to put him in a situation where they expected him to outpop Daniel Bryan is insanity. And I felt horrible for him because that's piss poor booking. Why would you put him in that moment? Oh, it's sink or swim. No. That's not what that was. You guys thought in your insane heads that he was going to outpop Daniel Bryan in that moment. You're heel. Like, you guys know how this works. What the hell were you thinking?
And in Washington.
Don't put him in those situations. He's good enough, and he's charismatic as hell. He is entertaining. The only thing I didn't like was Heavy Machinery. Why were they coming out doing this? The bushwhacker crap.
It's their gimmick, man. I mean,
terrible for them. I felt horrible for them.
Okay, but counterpoint though, we've talked about the big guy mid-carders.
Really quick. Good match.
Yeah.
I dug it. I liked the big power spots by Otis. He's strong as a friggin' bull and athletic as hell. So, what are we gonna say?
Okay, so we've talked about the big guy conundrum. They have all these big 80s looking mid card guys, right? At least Heavy Machinery, you remember who they are because they do the stupid shit, as opposed to the Viking Raiders with their face paint and their masks, or Killian Dane with his copious amounts of back hair. I mean, with Heavy Machinery, this at least makes them memorable.
It does, but I would argue if I took my pants off and became Matt Morgan, ran in the middle of the ring, I'd be memorable too. I hope. Would you?
Hey, whatever it takes to get over, man.
What, Mrs. Morgan? Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, if you could go back in time, that or the stutter, which would you pick?
Listen to me. I'm talking, Glenn. Okay. It's like when we're driving on the highway and there's a car accident and we stop and we look. That doesn't mean that's a good thing, Glenn. That doesn't mean you're like, hey, Matt, look, everyone's looking over here. They must be able to draw money over here. No, Glenn, that's a car accident we're looking at.
Touche.
Yeah, the Bushwhackers were memorable, but when you talk about the great teams of the 80s, they don't come up.
That's true.
You know, it's always the Road Warriors, the Rockers, Heart Foundation, Demolition. They
do stick out. And again, I'm just going to say I don't know. but I don't want to crap on them because I finally enjoyed what they presented tonight.
It's a really good match.
I thought this match was great. I thought Daniel Bryan. I like that they didn't try to get Daniel Bryan to turn on this crowd because it wouldn't have worked. They were too into him. He's near his hometown. Yep. And so they just went with it. Daniel Bryan was great. The crowd was chanting. What are they chanting? I recycle or we recycle?
Please recycle. Drive a Prius.
Drive a Prius. Please recycle. This crowd was just cracking me up. And I recycle and I do have a Prius. So
I will say they did try to come with Otis at one for like a millisecond, and it got drowned out real quick. And the poor guy was like looking around, like doing what you do when you start to want people to start chanting for you louder and louder, and you start to act like it's getting to you and helping you get more energy. And then it got drowned out by Daniel Bryan chanting. Felt bad for him. He did good though.
Yeah.
Yeah, this match was awesome. Daniel Bryan pinned Tucker for the win.
Mm-hmm. And it was a good dastardly heel pin. It was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about the crowd for a minute, Raj. So what percentage of the people there tonight in that half-filled arena were given free tickets, do you think?
I don't know about free tickets, but they were getting bargain tickets. I mean, it was 2 for $20 at one point. They were giving all sorts of little promotions and stuff. But yeah, I mean, the attendance for the show was pretty bad. There's pictures of the curtain just blocking off the whole one side of the arena, the camera side. And then, there were other areas blocked off. So poor attendance, but, you're coming... I mean, this is a show with no name value. I don't know why they don't just name it Vengeance or one of the, Bad Blood or one of the old, pay-per-view names they named in the past. At least there's some familiarity with it as opposed to a brand new name that sucks. It's like Great Balls of Fire. It doesn't, it's just begging to be crapped on from the get-go.
Could you imagine? This was a pretty hot crowd, especially for such a poorly attended pay-per-view. Could you imagine if it had been a full arena with this crowd? I think
great crowd.
Yeah. No, I think tonight, I'm curious.
And you couldn't tell by the crowd's noise that it was a small crowd.
Yeah.
They were hot.
Yes, they were.
For most of the show.
They were.
I think tonight solidified what we've been saying now for months. Most talented roster of wrestlers that they've ever had.
Yes.
In-ring action, best it's ever been. But, oh my God, where are the storylines?
Yeah.
And why I like these fans, they were honest. Did you hear them saying this is stupid?
Yeah.
Like they're being honest. And I thought they were like everything they chanted. I was like, I agree with everything they're doing right now. Like, do you know what I mean? Like I felt like they're like I could have been one of those fans tonight.
Yeah. And so like when Bayley came out for her match against Alexa Bliss, like Bayley got a pretty decent pop, pretty good reaction. I think she was even a little surprised.
It was kind of like 50-50 between Bayley and Alexa Bliss.
Yeah. Yeah. And the match with Nikki Cross there. So Nikki was with Alexa. Nikki distracted the ref. That distracted Alexa a little bit. Then Bayley got the win on that ultimately. What did you think of the match itself, Matt?
I'm not feeling the Alexa storyline with Nikki, as we all already know.
Yeah.
So I come into it very pessimistic to begin with. But Bayley versus Alexa, very, very good though, obviously. The match itself.
I thought it was okay. I thought I liked the last few minutes of it. Up until then, I thought it was just kind of there. This was the first match where I thought it was kind of
started to decline.
Yeah, it was starting to decline, but it wasn't bad. So it wasn't like it totally changed it around for me. But it just wasn't up to the standards of everything else that had been up to the show up until that point.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, but they tried, and I thought the last couple minutes were very good.
Yeah, it was an all right match, but I don't think this was the strongest night for women's wrestling on a WWE pay-per-view, which is unfortunate.
No, Becky versus Lacey was good.
It was good, but just with these two matches, like the tag titles weren't represented. It just seems a little weird that we're back to doing two matches on a pay-per-view when they've had a higher percentage in the past.
Yeah. Did we talk about? Okay, let's.
What didn't we talk about?
Have we gotten to all the backstage segments yet?
So there were a couple. We did talk about AJ and Ricochet. We talked about the Ali vignette. We saw the 24/7 title changing hands at Drake Maverick's wedding with R-Truth pinning him on Friday. What else happened backstage?
Okay, so with that Drake Maverick title change, so that was legitimately at Drake Maverick's wedding.
It was.
So they did the actual wedding, and then after that was done, they kept everyone there, and then went back and filmed the version that you saw on TV. So,
Yep.
I mean, props to Drake Maverick for. I'm sure maybe it might have been his idea.
He was here in his bachelor party. Was like these guys live in my town, and he wore that legit out with him on his bachelor's night, like the night before his wedding too.
Yeah, Braun Strowman, EC3, those were really his groomsmen.
Yes.
We reported on this months ago about Braun Strowman and EC3. But yeah, I thought it was a clever thing. I mean, every title change with the 24/7 title is with the roll up. Then there was that backstage segment after Ricochet won the title, and he was being congratulated with everyone, all baby faces.
Oh, yeah,
and then
right.
Charlotte Flair was in there, which was so random because she's been a heel. I mean, she's a heel, and
Oh, that's right.
yeah, so it was so weird that Charlotte Flair was there. But yeah, those were I think those were all the backstage segments up until this point.
Yep.
Well, we got NXT Triple H.
That's what I got from that whole vibe, actually.
Right. Yeah. Triple H congratulating Ricochet.
Yeah. Then we had Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns. Oh, man. So the fans were not a fan of this match. This is awful chance at the beginning. Roman getting probably a 60-40, maybe 70-30 response. Shane came out as well and was there by the side of the ring. Raj, as you were saying, like, this match got better as it went on. Ultimately, with Roman Reigns winning, what I think is interesting, I want to talk about this in addition to the match itself, was that commentary was saying that, and with this, Roman puts behind him Shane and Drew and all of this, making it seem like this was sort of the end of that feud. And then immediately we got a backstage segment of Shane talking about a 2-on-1 handicap match tomorrow night on Raw with Drew and Shane versus Roman. So what did you think of the match itself, Matt, and the fact that these guys aren't quite done yet?
I don't know what to make about them not being done yet. I thought the match was good, though. I don't know why this is one that I didn't agree with the crowd on.
Yeah, it seemed like they really wanted to crap on this match from the beginning, and then they got into it. And, like, these guys worked hard, and it's like the crowd couldn't help but finally get into it. And by the end, they were totally in, and they were totally into Roman. Like, Roman got a huge pop when he finally, when he won. So I thought this match was, like I said, it started slow. And then it built and built, and by the end, it was really, really good. And I thought, again, up until this point, I thought this pay-per-view was a home run. I thought Roman looked good. I thought Drew looked good. Matt, you were talking earlier about Samoa Joe working great with smaller guys. And I feel like that's the same with Roman and Brock and a lot of these other big, talented guys. When they're with a smaller guy like an AJ or a Daniel Bryan or someone like that, their matches are just off the charts. Mm-hmm. And when you put them against another big guy, it can be 50-50.
It slows it down too.
Right. And so Roman and Drew, like, they had that at Mania where they just never clicked. But tonight I thought they did. And I thought this was good.
Yep. And that's why the characters need to mean even more than they've ever mean before. When you can't have a big guy, little guy every single match, right. Obviously. So you're not going to have the little guy creating movement, as Kevin Nash always used to say, to help pick up the paces of these matches. So it's even more important to have character development, because we don't care about the moves per se. We care about who's doing them and who's doing what and who's beating who at the time and who's going to be, that kind of a thing. We got to care more about those characters. They really got to be more cognizant. And to his credit, Drew, I think, has a very defined character right now, in my opinion. It's pretty basic to understand what his deal is. He is a psychopath. He's been morphing more and more and more into it with his facials, all his mannerisms, his in between the stuff he does with his in between his moves. I think he gives us that. That's why I think that match picked up. Honestly, we know Roman's character. We already get that, but we don't talk. I don't think people talk enough about Drew and his character development.
Yeah, and here's two things with Drew. I feel like Shane should have lost at Super Showdown to Roman, and Drew should have beaten Roman tonight because they're definitely keeping this going. This doesn't end, and having Roman beat Drew twice in a row, it doesn't make sense to keep it going. But I'm sure they are. And then the next thing is, I think one of the problems with Drew right now is that he's been positioned like Shane has been positioned as the main heel with that group, and Drew has been positioned as his lackey. And if you can reverse that, have Drew be the main heel and Shane kind of his, his mouthpiece, his lackey, I think then you could get Drew as a true like main event talent. Like people really start seeing him as a main event. But keeping him as Shane's lackey is not it's not going to help him if you don't switch that soon.
Yeah.
I'm bummed they're doing that 2-on-1 match tomorrow night. I think for the development of Drew, they should have given Heath Slater a match against Drew McIntyre and just had Drew come out and destroy him again. Have him do something a little more interesting rather than just kind of keep him in Shane's shadow.
I mean, guys, you guys understand, though, like, he's not his lackey, though. He's his heater. There's a big difference between somebody's heater and their lackey.
But
very big difference.
Right, but you know what I mean. Like, he's the secondary in the group.
I don't think that's the ultimate goal. That would make no sense. Why would WWE want to put stock in Shane McMahon versus
because
Drew?
They do. Because that's what they do with the McMahons.
It's not a long-term thing. There's no money in it. Why would they do that? Shane doesn't need to get wins. They're doing,
We've been saying that for a long time.
There's no way that they sit in that office, you guys, and go, how can we get Shane McMahon over to seem like a real wrestler this week? You know what? Let's take the 6'7", really good-looking Jack kid, and let's just ruin his career right now and have him start being his B-boy.
Yeah.
Look what they've done to The Miz. The Miz lost 2 pay-per-view matches to Shane. It gets beat down basically every other week by Shane.
Miz, I would say, is so malleable, though. He's the one, I would argue, that could get away with that somehow and still come back because he's Miz somehow. But
he's one of the most prominent wrestlers.
Shane should not beating anybody.
I agree, and he has. He's undefeated on pay-per-view this year in singles matches. And the one match he lost was that tag match with The Miz, and The Miz was the one that got pinned, and Shane beat the crap out of The Miz afterwards. But I agree. Like, Drew should be the main guy, and Shane should just be building up Drew, not building himself up, not building up his program, but building up Drew.
Well, let's see what they do. Let's see when the next singles match is here, and with what's his name, Roman, versus Shane again. Is it versus? It feels like it's going to be versus Shane, and he'll get his win again. Or no?
I would think so. I mean, he beat Drew twice, unless they do a handicap match tomorrow. And
it is that, 2-on-1.
Yeah, they're doing the handicap match tomorrow, and if it ends up in a DQ and Shane and Drew just beat the hell out of Roman, and then that leads to a no DQ match at Extreme Rules or something, I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
So after the match, after Roman got the win on Drew, they beat up Reigns. Shane came in, did the coast to coast. Or did that happen during the match? Pardon me, before the win. That's right. Shane interfered, did the coast to coast. Then Roman got his win at the end. Just with Roman, I feel like, I don't know, Roman versus Drew could be good, but you're right, man. I mean, it's like, I don't know why they're trying to get Shane over, but clearly there's an agenda there. I think we should just all thank God they're not putting Shane against Kofi Kingston right now.
Yeah, it's still, I would argue is actually a step up for Kofi.
Yeah, I actually agree. I think that's better for him than Dolph, as long as Shane doesn't win the title.
Yes, yeah.
I could see it happening.
I could see it happening too.
Speaking of which, the steel cage title match for
Vince
the WWE.
McMahon is a former WWE champion, so you've already had one McMahon hold it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but to your point, Matt, like clearly they do see something in Shane. I could see Shane winning the title at SummerSlam or them doing something crazy stupid like that.
No, he's not. No.
Okay.
I'm with you, Glenn. I can see him.
They are in there talking about ways to build Shane McMahon with wins. No way are they having that conversation.
He won the best in the world tournament. He's the best in the world.
I'm telling you, though, the meeting is not like, all right, guys, let's brainstorm. What ways we got to make Shane seem legit now, okay? I just don't see them doing that. I could see them saying the bigger picture storyline, whatever that something is. And then I can see when it comes to bringing Shane into things like, hey, you know what would be funny? Or, hey, do you know what would be cool? Or, hey, do you know what would add to this and give another layer to this storyline and really piss the people off? Because, you know what I mean, is they'll never see him beating Roman Reigns. I could maybe see that. I just don't see them making a meeting about how we built Shane, this young up and comer Shane McMahon.
But Matt, let me ask you this: who on SmackDown has gotten more screen time between Raw and SmackDown over the past?
I'm not saying none of those things are happening. I'm saying there's no way in hell you have content.
They're trying to get him to the world title.
No.
Actually, now that
you think Shane McMahon's going to win the world title?
I don't, but I can see it. I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't think that's where they're going.
I mean, now, if Kofi has it, it's at its weakest to happen. Just for the record, I will throw that out there.
I think it'd be weaker if Dolph had it.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but now that Kane is doing mayor stuff, Goldust is gone, Undertaker wrestles sporadically, Shane is the most tenured member of the WWE roster.
Does not matter. He's
actively
not
wrestling.
A wrestler.
It's a name.
He's athletic as hell, but he is not a wrestler. He is a huge name, but he is not a wrestler.
No, he sucks in the ring, but he's the most pushed guy on the shows.
So does he have any role in WWE creative, Raj, or he's just a performer?
Just a performer. So
to your point, Matt, it's not like Shane's in there putting himself over. Someone is actively pitching this shit.
No, the only thing is I just don't think it's them saying they're centering things around him. I just don't think so.
Yeah.
Not when it comes to wins. It has to be, and if it does, it's them kissing his ass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I can see maybe that. I can see that. I can see them thinking like, what do? We can't have Shane lose. I don't know. I don't know. I know everybody's scared for their jobs all the damn time there. So who the hell knows?
Not anymore. Now you can't get fired from there.
What do you mean?
All these people wanting their releases and they get their contract extended. And
right? Yeah.
No. Well, wrestlers can't. Writers get fired every day.
Yeah. No, yeah, for sure.
So Dolph Ziggler versus Kofi Kingston inside a steel cage. Is there anything to talk about in this match aside from the end?
No, there's not.
Boring match.
So boring.
Just the crowd was dead. I mean, they want to like Kofi, you know, it's the polite response, but the WWE haven't given fans a reason. They haven't put him in a real feud. They haven't had him get, a hot heated feud, like I said earlier, against a top guy.
Still needs a rub. He still needs that main event, like you said, Randy Orton earlier, someone like that.
That's all they got.
That he's got to go.
Bray Wyatt.
Okay. Somebody, Actually,
I take back Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt shouldn't be losing yet.
Yeah, Kofi can't go over.
Shouldn't, but somebody on that level is what we're saying, The caliber. Somebody who is more over than Kofi, who's a former champion.
Like Cena coming back to do something.
That would be huge.
Yeah, then that would make sense. But yeah, it's tough right now. There's not a lot of guys they can put him with going forward.
They
so
have thought about that. They should have switched him to, I don't know. Get people over from Raw onto that show.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very weird time right now, overall with the booking. But this match basically went on at different points. Didn't it seem to you guys like someone could just walk right out of there, or they could have just easily gotten out of the cage? Like this wasn't intense. This didn't seem to use the cage very well, but the ending of it was cool. Dolph had the door open, was trying to get out, and Kofi dove through the ropes over him. Kind of a messy dive, but it was a cool ending. He hit the ground first and retained his championship. We'll see if this is the end.
I hope so.
And Raj, I was pulling for you when they were on the ring. I thought for a moment Big E might turn, but nope.
So I guess they didn't announce that it's going to be Ricochet versus AJ Styles tomorrow night on Raw.
They did?
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
Shoot. I don't know if I like that.
Yeah, same here.
Should have built that.
Yeah, unless they do a hot match with no ending but I always hate. I'd like a story to build with the story and end with the match, as opposed to starting with the match.
Definitely.
Oh, guys, come on! Samoa Joe is going to interfere in that tomorrow night. That's not going to have a clean finish. No way in hell.
Either way.
Either way, the genie in the bottle again.
Yeah, interesting if AJ's in that stage of his career, where now that he's re-signed, they're going to use him to build Ricochet further in this and solidify him. The title match tonight, Baron Corbin versus Seth Rollins for the WWE Universal title. The big reveal of the special guest referee, as many people guessed, it all makes sense now why they've been calling Seth Becky's boyfriend, because Lacey Evans came out to be the referee. This match was a lot of hijinks and chicanery throughout before, finally there was just no more denying it. John Cone came out. Becky got involved. Rollins retained. I thought this match was more entertaining than I thought it would be initially, Matt. What did you think of it?
It definitely was. It absolutely superseded my expectations. Exceeded them. Because I thought, like, again, guys, like, I thought we were going to be very bored by this. And what they did with Lacey was very believable. Like, as far as for the false finishes go, I thought were pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Better than what I thought it would be.
Coolest part. Oh, I'm sorry, Rush. Go.
Oh, I was gonna say I did not like this match starting out, but I did think it got better and better. And you could tell they were building for Becky, and that build was done really well.
It was.
And so by the end, I thought, overall, I wouldn't call it a good match, but it was fun. And built to the right spot with Becky coming in. My thing is, I don't know. I feel like it takes something away by acknowledging Becky and Seth as a couple on screen.
I don't know why I thought the same exact. I'm being serious. I thought the same exact thing.
Yeah, I just think when you have wrestling, couples and you acknowledge it on screen and they're googly eyed, it just makes them, I don't know, take something away from them, makes them feel like less of a star. I don't know. It'd be like Macho Man and Liz. They were married in real life for all those years and never acknowledged it.
Did you guys think they were going to kiss?
I did. At the end when they were
comfortable 2 or 3 times there, where they're sitting there staring at each other, I'm like, are they gonna kiss or not? I don't want to be thinking that.
Right.
It could be worse. It could be like Edge and Lita in their celebration, it's a weird angle, but it kind of makes sense now, and I think it's good though, and I think it's good for Baron. Yeah, great for Baron.
I think it's great for Lacey. And honestly, I think it's good for Becky. It's Seth who is the one who loses out, in my opinion, the most out of all of this.
I just think it takes away some of Becky's edge because she had that kind of loner thing going for a while.
She spanked his ass tonight and held the rope open for him, dude. Hell no. I thought she still looked so bad.
Seth looked weaker.
I thought Seth looked weaker. Yeah, it was
Put him in a feud with Mike and Maria.
He did not budge out of her gimmick tonight. Look at her face. Look at her chin up in the air, all cocky. Like, she didn't budge. Seth's the one who not only budged, but he melted. He wilted out there.
Yeah. I have to say, the finish to this match I thought was incredible. Of Seth doing the flip to get out of End of Days, and then going into the stomp.
That was dope. That was really good.
No, yeah. It was a cool finish. I thought the last several minutes of this match were really strong. And I tweeted about this too. I was just thinking like how great Bobby Heenan would have been calling this match, just constantly like justifying Lacey Evans' actions. Yeah. I just picture it.
Yes.
Anyway, I don't know what made just remind me of. I think it was just how boring the commentary was during this.
I was going to say the commentary sucked more than usual tonight.
A lot of people are trying to say that. Maybe I've never noticed them saying it before. I noticed a lot of fans starting to say that.
I just felt like you don't notice it a lot, or you just drown it out because it adds nothing.
I saw people tweeting recommending that you could turn on Spanish, Japanese, other audio choices, and even if you don't understand the language, the energy of their commentary is better.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It's too bad. I think Corey Graves is really talented.
He's really good. Usually, yeah.
Yeah,
they don't seem excited.
Renee Young, she's just I don't know. She just says the most basic, like, oh, that's not right. Oh boy, he's a real bastard. Maybe not saying bastard, but just stuff like that where it's like anyone can say that. It doesn't add anything to the commentary.
Yeah,
they need changes everywhere, and commentary is definitely one of them.
So Matt, this can make Corbin's outfit make sense if he takes, Lacey's inspiration. All he has to do is turn it white, start dressing like a Southern Colonel, and it all works.
Looks like
like Colonel Sanders, basically.
Oh boy, don't put that out there. The freak WWE will hear that, and the poor guy will be wearing that crap next.
Oh my gosh, I could almost see that. Like Robert Parker, the stuff he used to wear.
No. They've got the outfits from those KFC commercials. Actually, here's something I don't say very often. I'm excited to see where they go with this tomorrow night.
I kind of am for 3 of the 4 of them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I kind of have the feeling they're going to go where they've been going. I think we're going to see more of Seth and Baron. I hope to God Dolph and Kofi's done, but I have a feeling it's not. I have a feeling they're going to do a gimmick match at the next pay-per-view. But AJ and Ricochet, definitely.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Well, one thing that will be changing or has already changed that we'll now know about tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw is the WWE is getting rid of wrestling during commercial breaks during TV broadcasts. What's the story there, Raj?
Yeah, so apparently Vince decided that in sports, you're not going to a commercial break while the game's happening. So the matches will either be shorter, so they end and then you go to a commercial, or they do the ring entrance, and then when you're back, after the ring, after the commercial, then the match starts, or they do more of the 2 out of 3 falls, so you can do 1 fall during each commercial break.
Okay, why now? Wait. So
I
you started watching sports today?
I know. It is just strange. It's just one of those Vince things where he just gets this idea and it has to be done. I have a feeling. They used to do this in the Attitude Era. They used to do this, in the 80s where the matches would,
No, they don't. You throw your guy. This is what you do. Hey guys, 10 seconds to break. Shoot the guy off. Give him a big boot. Cover 1, 2. Kick out. How many? 3 seconds to break. Take the guy. I chicane him over the top rope. All right, that's what's going on during break. Now, unfortunately, because these guys go 100 miles an hour, they're still getting their shit in during the break.
Right. No, but in the 80s, like on Superstars, the matches never went over a commercial break. And same as the Attitude Era, the matches were always short, so they never went through a commercial break.
You didn't miss anything during commercial break.
Right. And so SmackDown, they have those picture-in-picture commercials now. So apparently when they have the picture-in-picture commercials, those matches would go through the break since you can see it anyway.
Right.
But for now, all the others are, they're going to...
Well, how would you feel if that was your match? Like, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, that would suck if I'm on the match and there's a friggin' whatever oil commercial or whatever the hell it's called, and my match is going on this little screen over here, and I'm like, busting my ass out there.
Right. I think that's happened before where you'll see like Ricochet do something crazy and there's no like commentary and the commercial's on. Yeah. You know what? I have a funny feeling this is going to be one of those things. You remember the third hour was going to be darker and edgier, and they turned the lights down, and that lasted like 1 week, I think, or 2 weeks, like 2 or 3 weeks max, and then they just dropped it. I have a feeling this will be dropped within a few weeks. They're going to see what a pain it is, and it's going to be dropped.
And Lars Sullivan, what is his injury status?
So he had been hurt going into that Monday's Raw. Was it last Monday or the Monday before? The Monday before, and just hurt his knee again, and he's out for a while, 6 to 9 months. So December, January. So basically, WrestleMania season is when he'll be back. So really bad timing for Lars. I mean, they started pushing him. Then the little controversy with his past forum, post came out. He got fined $100,000, and then he's back, putting it behind him, and then this happened. So a big setback.
Yep.
So one thing I wanted to ask you about, Raj, because I saw the story on Wrestling Inc. Is it true about Jacob Fatu is being pursued by WWE and AEW?
Yeah, apparently they have shown interest in him, and
he's good. He's real good.
He's
I was just about to say that. Yeah, I mean, how couldn't you? I mean, that guy has size. He's agile. He can move. He's great.
I would argue athletically, he's the best of them. I mean, serious guys. You show me his weakness, I don't see it.
Oh, he's awesome.
I saw him last week at All Pro Wrestling in San Francisco. Him versus this guy King Fatboy. And for 2 big guys, they put on an incredibly athletic match. I thought Jacob looked like a huge star.
Yeah. I saw him live at the MLW tapings, and he's got it.
Yeah, no, I think he'd do really, really well, whoever he signs with. What else is going on, Raj? Anything else in the world of wrestling?
Oh, one more thing. AEW, their TV show, it looks like it's going to be Wednesday nights. They filed a trademark for Wednesday Night Dynamite. So more than like, and they got to figure that out soon because you're doing weekly TV shows. You got to start booking arenas, just do your international TV deal. They can't do their international TV deals until they figure out which night they're on here. So Tuesday and Wednesday nights had always been the nights that they were leaning towards. It looks like it's going to be Wednesdays. I personally think that's better. You're not getting preempted all the time with basketball on Tuesdays. You will later in the season, but during the main season, you won't. And also, it kind of gives you a break. We always see SmackDown numbers lower on Tuesday after Raw, especially when it's the worse Raw is, the worse SmackDown is. I don't know if that kind of would hold. People are just tired of wrestling on Tuesday. Tuesday, you get a little break. Wednesday, you're back on. Break on Thursday, and then Friday, you got SmackDown.
What is your prediction for the size of venues they're going to run for TV tapings, Raj? What do you think they could sell on a Wednesday?
I mean, that's a good question. I'd say 4,000 to 5,000 maybe to start, and see how that does. I mean, that's what Fyter Fest and Fight for the Fallen. Those are like 5,000 seat configurations that they're doing.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Fyter Fest less than a week away.
Yeah, and we'll have a podcast. I'm not sure who's going to be on it yet. Next week after the show on Saturday night.
How can we watch it?
It's free on Fight. Or it'll be our live.
I'll do it.
You'll do it?
I want to watch it. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The three of us, we're in. Raj, you in?
Yeah. Let's do it.
There you go. I'm looking forward to this. That's going to have Darby Allin versus Kenny, right? Or Cody. Pardon me.
Here, let me run through the card real quick. So John Moxley versus Joey Janela, and that should be just insane. Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks versus Pentagon Jr., Phoenix, and Laredo Kid, and that match should be awesome. Cody versus Darby Allin. Adam Page versus MJF versus Jungle Boy versus Jimmy Havoc. Yuka Sasaki versus Rio versus Nyla Rose. And then Christopher Daniels versus Sema. A hardcore match on the pre-show with Michael Nakazawa versus Bayley. Bayley? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, he's the CEO of the fighting contest thing. He's one of their guys, not an actual wrestler.
And then also on the pre-show, it's SCU versus Private Party versus the best friends. The winner advances to All Out for a shot at a first-round bye in the AEW World Tag Team Championship tournament. So, it's going to be a busy week.
And someone on Wikipedia added this. I'm not seeing it confirmed anywhere else that Kylie Ray is going to have a match. I'll have to.
Yeah, we had posted that earlier today too. There was some leaked advertising that had Kylie Ray versus
Leva Bates, according to Wikipedia.
Okay, yeah, Leva Bates, but that has not been announced yet.
I think that will be a really, really good match. I'm glad they're doing more women's stuff with their cards. Cool. So we will all be here Saturday. Now, tomorrow night we have Monday Night Raw. Matt, you've got some business travel, so you're going to be out Monday and Tuesday, but we'll be back together Saturday night to cover AEW Fyter Fest. Looking forward to it. Matt, anything you want to plug before we take this home here?
No, sir.
Okay. Raj, what's coming up on the site?
Actually, I mean, I feel like there's a million things, but we have interviews with Conrad Thompson, who talks about why Chris Jericho missed out on his panel at StarCast. The Ric Flair roast, it's not going to be at StarCast 3. A lot more stuff.
Where is it going to be?
That is undecided right now.
Okay.
So
got to listen to the interview to find out.
Yeah, well,
hey, you want me to give it away right now?
Yeah, I'm a sponsor of the goddamn roast. I did that deal. I want to know where it's happening.
Right.
We already gave them more money for that, man.
Jeff Cobb, we got an interview with him. So yeah, all sorts of stuff. D Dystro, the handler of PCO. So all sorts of cool stuff coming up this week.
There you have it. I'm Glenn Rubenstein. You can find me on Twitter at Glenn Rubenstein, and we will catch you back here tomorrow night for Monday Night Raw. Until then, take care, everybody, and we'll see you back here on the Wrestling Inc. podcast.